Something profound is stirring in the ethers around you right now. Your person is finally gathering the courage to take a meaningful step in your direction. This is not one of those fleeting moments of impulse that dissolves with the morning light. This is not a passing wind that evaporates under the weight of daily concerns. No, what is unfolding now is something far more substantial, far more real. This is a movement rooted in genuine commitment, in a decision that has been carefully considered and deeply felt. They are preparing themselves to cross the bridge that has separated you both, and this time, they are walking toward you with intention, with purpose, with their heart fully engaged. For so long now, you have been holding space for this connection. You have been nurturing the vision of what you two could create together, even when the physical reality seemed uncertain or impossibly distant. Through all the silent nights and questioning days, you have kept the flame of this possibility alive within your heart. You have been manifesting this reunion, this reconciliation, this divine coming together. And your faith, your unwavering belief in what could be, has not been in vain. The universe has been listening. The divine has been orchestrating. And now, the moment you have been waiting for is beginning to materialize in the physical realm. What you may not have fully realized is that all along, beneath the surface of silence and apparent distance, they have been carrying feelings for you. These emotions were never absent. They were simply hidden, locked away in the deeper chambers of their heart, concealed beneath layers of protection and fear. Their silence was never a reflection of indifference. Their hesitations were never evidence of a lack of care. Rather, everything that kept them at a distance was born from the weight of past experiences that shaped the way they approached vulnerability and intimacy. Old wounds, traumatic encounters, painful betrayals from their history created patterns of self-protection that made it difficult for them to fully open themselves to love, no matter how deeply they felt it. But now, something beautiful and powerful is happening. The tides that once held them back are beginning to shift. They are reaching a place within themselves where those old fears no longer possess the same controlling power they once did. The shadows that kept them frozen in place are gradually losing their grip. Their heart, that tender and courageous part of them that has always known the truth, is now urging them forward. It is pushing them to finally confess what has been kept unspoken for far too long. The words they could never quite find the courage to say are now rising to the surface, demanding to be expressed. They can no longer deny what their soul knows to be true. For those of you who have been navigating the difficult terrain of no contact, who have been living with the ache of separation and the uncertainty of silence, the energy surrounding you right now strongly points toward reconciliation. This is not about them sending a casual text message to ease their conscience or to test the waters from a safe emotional distance. This is not a half-hearted attempt to reconnect that will fade away when things become challenging. Instead, what is coming is genuine, substantial, and rooted in authentic desire. They are preparing to take a real stand for this connection. They are getting ready to show up for you in a way they have not been able to before. They have come to a powerful realization, one that has transformed their entire perspective. They now understand that avoiding their feelings, running from their truth, has only created more distance between themselves and what their soul genuinely desires. Every moment spent in denial, every day passed in resistance to their authentic emotions, has only deepened the chasm between who they are and who they long to be. The separation you both experienced, as painful as it may have been, was not without purpose. It was not wasted time. It served a crucial role in your collective journey. That time apart gave them the space they desperately needed to confront their inner struggles, to face the demons that had been haunting them from the shadows. It allowed them to question the patterns that had been holding them back, to examine the beliefs and behaviors that kept them trapped in cycles of fear and self-protection. And through this process of deep introspection and inner work, they have finally come to accept a truth that changes everything. They have accepted that you are the person their heart truly longs for. You are not just someone they care about or feel attracted to. You are the one their soul recognizes as home. Reconciliation is no longer just a distant possibility floating in the realm of maybe someday. It is on its way to you now, moving through the channels of divine timing, approaching with the certainty of dawn after a long night. And it comes accompanied by a renewed determination to nurture this relationship, to tend to it with care and consciousness, to give it the attention and devotion it has always deserved. They are no longer approaching this connection with ambivalence or half measures. They are ready to invest themselves fully. The energy that exists between you both feels fundamentally different now compared to what it was before. Where once there may have been tension crackling in the space between you, where misunderstandings may have clouded your interactions, or where an undercurrent of struggle may have made everything feel difficult and complicated, there is now emerging a sense of calm and peace. This tranquility that is settling over your connection is not the peace of complacency or indifference. It is not the calm of two people who have given up or lost interest. Rather, this is the peace that comes from genuine growth, from lessons learned and wisdom gained through the fire of experience. You are both learning, each in your own way and at your own pace, the profound importance of letting go. Letting go of the desperate need to control outcomes, to orchestrate every detail of how things unfold. Letting go of resentment that may have accumulated during the difficult times, of bitterness that serves no purpose except to poison the well from which you both must drink. Letting go of fears that kept you small and separate, of anxieties that created walls where bridges should have been. And perhaps most importantly, letting go of the past cycles that no longer serve your highest good, the repetitive patterns that kept you both spinning in place rather than moving forward together. Instead of focusing your precious energy on what went wrong, on the mistakes and missteps that marked your earlier chapters, the two of you are beginning to center your attention on blessings. You are cultivating an awareness of gratitude for what you have, for what you have learned, for the very fact that this connection exists at all. You are opening yourselves to the abundance that wants to flow into your lives, recognizing that the universe is generous when we align ourselves with receptivity and appreciation. This fundamental shift in perspective and energy creates fertile ground for a connection that can finally flourish in a balanced and harmonious way. It clears the soil of old debris and makes space for new growth to take root and reach toward the light. One of the most significant and transformative changes happening within your person right now involves their growing ability to face and overcome the fear of being in a committed relationship. This fear, for a long time, has been a powerful force in their life, shaping their choices and limiting their capacity for deep connection. For many months, perhaps even years, the very thought of commitment may have triggered intense insecurities within them. The idea of truly showing up, of making themselves fully available to another person, of intertwining their life with someone else's life, left them feeling vulnerable and exposed in ways that terrified them. They may have worried constantly about the risks of vulnerability, about what might happen if they opened their heart completely only to have it broken again. They may have questioned whether they were even capable of giving and receiving love in its fullest, most authentic form. Perhaps they doubted their own worthiness or feared that they would somehow fail at love, that they would prove inadequate or disappointing. These fears were not trivial or easily dismissed. They were rooted in real pain, in actual experiences that taught them to be cautious, to keep their guard up, to protect themselves at all costs. but the healing journey they have been on has been nothing short of transformative. Through their inner work, through their willingness to face themselves honestly and to do the difficult work of processing old wounds, they are now learning a profound truth. They are discovering that vulnerability is not actually a weakness to be avoided or a liability to be minimized. Instead, vulnerability is the doorway through which we must pass to experience true intimacy. It is the key that unlocks the door to authentic connection. Without vulnerability, there can be no real knowing of another person or being known by them. Without the willingness to be seen in our rawness and imperfection, love remains superficial and guarded. They are opening themselves up in ways they never could before. They are learning not only to give love wholeheartedly, with generosity and without constant calculation of risk, but also to receive love without resistance. This second part is often even more challenging than the first. Many people find it easier to give than to receive, easier to care for others than to allow themselves to be cared for. But your person is working through these barriers. They are allowing themselves to believe that they deserve love, that they are worthy of the care and devotion that you want to offer them. This healing process has transformed them on multiple levels, creating change that ripples through every dimension of their being. Mentally, they have gained clarity about what they truly want from life and from love. They have come to understand why they struggled in the past, identifying the specific patterns and beliefs that kept them trapped. They can now see with clear eyes how their history shaped their present, and this awareness gives them the power to make different choices moving forward. Emotionally, they have released much of the heaviness that once weighed them down. The dense, dark energy of unprocessed pain and accumulated trauma is lifting. In its place, a lighter, freer emotional state is emerging, allowing them to step into a stronger, more balanced version of themselves. They are not approaching you now as someone who is broken, fragmented, or desperately seeking completion through another person. They are not coming to you from a place of need or desperation. Instead, they are arriving as someone who has done the difficult inner work required to rise above old wounds. They have alchemized their pain into wisdom, their struggles into strength. They are showing up as a more integrated, more whole human being, capable of meeting you in a space of genuine partnership rather than codependency or dysfunction. Your connection with them has acted as a powerful catalyst for all of this healing. The love you have offered, the vision you have held, the space you have maintained, all of this has reminded them of what love can inspire when it is genuine and unconditional. You have shown them, through your consistency and your faith, what is possible between two souls who are committed to growth and truth. Your presence in their life, even from a distance, has been a mirror reflecting back to them their own potential for transformation and their own capacity for deep love. This bond you share is not ordinary or common. It is fated and protected by forces beyond your immediate understanding. The divine realm has been guiding both of you through this entire journey, even when you could not see the path clearly, even when everything seemed to be falling apart rather than coming together. Every setback that made you question whether this connection would survive, every silence that stretched on until it felt unbearable, every trial that tested your faith and your patience, all of these experiences have been part of a greater plan. Nothing has been random or meaningless. Everything has served the purpose of helping you both grow individually, of preparing you to come together in a way that is stable, mature, and built to last. Now your person is ready to provide you with the stability and security you have long desired from them. They no longer want to leave you guessing about where you stand in their life or in their heart. They are tired of the ambiguity that has characterized your connection, tired of the uncertainty that has caused you pain. They no longer want you to doubt their intentions or question whether they are truly committed to building something real with you. Instead, they want to be the partner who shows up for you consistently and reliably. They want to be someone you can count on, someone whose words align with their actions, someone who follows through on their promises. They want to actively build a future alongside you, not just talk about it in abstract terms or dream about it in moments of longing. They want to take concrete steps, make real plans, create an actual life together rather than just a fantasy. And they want to honor the connection that has always been destined to unfold between you, treating it with the reverence and care it deserves. They understand now that what you share is precious and rare, something not to be taken for granted or treated carelessly. Your love has been a guiding light for them, illuminating the path even when they were stumbling in darkness. Even during the times of separation, even when they tried to distract themselves with other pursuits or other people, even when they attempted to pretend they were unaffected by your absence, the truth is that your love was working on them. It was pushing them to confront their deepest wounds, challenging them to face the parts of themselves they had been avoiding. Your love demanded that they grow, that they heal, that they transform into someone capable of loving you in the way you truly deserve. They are stepping forward now, not just as the person they were when you first met, but as an emotionally stronger and more grounded individual. They have been refined by the fire of their own inner work. They understand now that real love requires courage, that it demands we show up even when we are afraid, that it asks us to be vulnerable even when every instinct tells us to protect ourselves. And after all this time, after all this growth, they are finally ready to embody that courage. They are ready to be brave for you, for themselves, for the sacred connection that binds you together. The message coming through the spiritual channels right now is filled with hope and reassurance. It carries the warmth of divine love and the certainty of destined reunion. This connection you share has weathered significant storms. It has endured long periods of silence that tested your faith. It has been tested by time, by circumstances, by the challenges that life inevitably brings to any meaningful relationship. Yet despite everything, it remains intact. The thread connecting your souls has not been severed. The bond has not been broken. And the reason for this resilience is simple. This connection was never fragile to begin with. It was never dependent on perfect circumstances or constant communication. It was always destined. It was written in the stars before either of you took your first breath. The channel song accompanying this reading is Baby, I Miss You. The lyrics of this song echo the emotions that have been living in your person's heart throughout this entire period of separation. They serve as a reminder that throughout all the silence, throughout all the distance, you were always on their mind. You were present in their thoughts when they woke in the morning and when they lay down at night. You were there in quiet moments and in moments of chaos. You were always in their heart, even when they could not find the words to tell you, even when they could not find the courage to reach out. Now that missing, that deep longing that has characterized this period of separation, is transforming into action. The passive state of yearning is giving way to active movement toward reunion. The longing that kept them awake at night, that made their heart ache with a particular kind of sweet pain, is now becoming the fuel for tangible steps in your direction. They are no longer content to simply miss you from a distance. They are ready to close the gap, to bridge the divide, to make the longing obsolete by creating an actual reunion. There is something your person wants you to know, something they are preparing to express to you in their own way and in their own time. They are aware that they are about to do something that feels absolutely crazy to them. This is not a small risk they are taking or a harmless decision they are making. This is something that shakes them so deeply that even putting it into words feels like they are stepping off a cliff into empty air with nothing but faith to catch them. And if they are being completely honest with themselves and with you, they recognize that what they are about to do might scare you too. It might sound reckless or too intense, especially if you have grown accustomed to their previous patterns of withdrawal and self-protection. But they have reached a point in their journey where they can no longer hold their truth inside. The pressure of unexpressed emotion has become too great. Staying silent now feels more dangerous to them than the risk of speaking their truth. This confession they are preparing is not just about a fleeting feeling that will pass with time or a passing impulse born from a moment of loneliness. This is about their heart, their life, their future, and crucially, your shared future. They understand the magnitude of what they are preparing to do. They are terrified, genuinely afraid of the vulnerability this requires, but they also know deep down that it is worth the risk. They have lived long enough and experienced enough pain to understand a fundamental truth: the things which scare us most are often the things that matter most. The decisions that make our hands shake and our hearts race are frequently the ones that have the power to transform our lives in the most meaningful ways. And this declaration they are preparing to make, this confession of their true feelings, is one of those pivotal moments. They recognize that they are standing at a crossroads, and the choice they make now will determine the trajectory of their life going forward. They are about to risk everything. Not in a careless or thoughtless way, but in a conscious, deliberate act of courage. They are preparing to strip away every protective wall they have carefully constructed over the years. Every shield they have held up to keep themselves safe from emotional harm, every defense mechanism that has served them in the past, they are ready to lay all of it down.